I think by far the best way is just to trade remixes with other people. Morning guys, I'm super tired. It's now 10:30. I had very early this morning an appointment, and it's really cruel to have an appointment Monday morning after having way too many drinks the night before and watching the supermoon. But I made it. The appointment was really good. Some people offered me to do a song for advertisement, and I'm still thinking about doing it. It's a really good offer. It's fair. It wouldn't take so much time, and I could definitely use the money. So yeah, I will think about it and decide at the end of the week if I will do it. Now just checking really quick how my newest track Shadow of You is performing on Spotify. It has already 15,000 plays, which is amazing in just 3 days. The track will be also available later on my SoundCloud page. I will link it up at the end of this video. Now just coffee, 2 or 3 more emails, and then finally making some music. By the way, the phone call yesterday was from another music producer that asked me to do a remix for one of his tracks. I just got an email from him with the stems, so today I will start working on a new remix. I really just love to make remixes. It's an entirely different approach that can be super creative. You get the opportunity to work with stems that someone else created, which can lead to very creative and unique results. I think it's always a bit easier to make a remix for someone else. You already have something that you can work with. Another big advantage is that you're starting with just the stems that you want to keep. You can just use the vocals if you only like them, or maybe also the main melody. It's really up to you. It's always very interesting for me to listen to remixes of other artists, compare them to the original, and just see what they changed, how they changed it, how they made it into their own style. I think doing a really good remix shows how intelligent the producer really is. When you're doing remixes, you can't just do what you're used to. You really have to think a bit outside of the box and still somehow get the track to sound like one of your own. And of course the biggest problem with making a remix is that the people that request the remix only give you 3 or 4 days time to finish it. That's just the way it is when you're a small artist. The labels don't really care for your remix. If you make it in time, they will take it, or sometimes they won't even take it if you make it in time. I would just suggest that you do the remix, but keep in mind that it might happen that they won't take it and that you can still make an original out of the remix. Also, if you make them a first really good draft and they like it, they will of course give you 1 or 2 more weeks to finish the track, but never ever expect them to delay the release just because of you. So just try to make it as quick and as good as possible, and that's exactly what I will do today. Unfortunately, I won't be able to share with you my working process on this remix. I'm not allowed to play you any of the stems, I'm not allowed to play you any of the vocals, I'm even not allowed to tell you who's singing, I'm not allowed to tell you who made the original. So I was thinking instead just to talk a bit about how to approach people to get remixes, how you will get paid for the remixes and all of the business things around it. But first of all, I need to get started. I don't really have a lot of time today. Okay, it's now 9:30, super late. I'm almost halfway through with the remix. Sounds really good so far. Now let's talk about how to get remixes and how much to charge for them, how you get paid, all of the business kind of things. To get requested for remixes, there's actually just one way. You have to release your own tracks, make them good, make them in a style where other people want to have a remix from. You could also try and ask the people if you're allowed to do a remix, but usually if you don't know them in person, this will lead nowhere. If you're really good connected, this is a way to do it. I had actually my very first release this way. A friend of mine who was a trance DJ producer had a release on a bigger label, and I just asked if I'm allowed to make a remix, and I told him I don't want anything for it just release it if you like it. And that's what happened. I was never paid for this, and I was just happy to have one of my tracks released. Getting paid for remix isn't really easy. At the beginning where I started out, I usually got nothing. Then I got a small percentage of the sales of the remix. Then sometimes people offer you maybe 300, 400, 500 euros to do a remix, like a flat fee. And they take all of the money that the track is making on Spotify and all of these other platforms. Nowadays, as a smaller artist, you can just be happy if the remix gets released and just see it as a promotional tool that will get you more original releases, more remixes, and maybe even bookings. I think the best option is just to trade remixes with people that are on the same level. Just ask them if you can make a remix for them, and they will in return do a remix for you. So you end up at the end with twice as much releases, which will basically just double the chance of getting noticed as an artist. You could also just approach the people that I'm featuring here on track submits. They're probably on the same level. All of these tracks are really amazing and worth it to be remixed, and it's a nice way to just get connected with other people that are also making music. You should also know that you should be really careful with just doing a remix or edit of one of your favorite tracks and just upload it to SoundCloud or YouTube. Best case, nothing happens because nobody's really interested, or you just have way too few plays that anybody will ever notice. Another scenario would be that it just gets blocked by YouTube or SoundCloud, and the worst case would be if the label that owns the rights really gets a lawyer and makes you a lot of trouble. This very, very, very rarely happens. Usually that they even know that you exist and made a remix. The track has to go viral, and if it goes viral, these labels usually just ask you to release it officially with them. You will of course not get paid, but as I said, it's a great promotional tool. So doing these unofficial remixes could go either way. It's up to you to decide for yourself if it's worth it for you to take the risk. Now, just a random thing I found on Facebook. I've been talking so much about Nutella in the past 2 days. I have to share it with you. It seems like McDonald's has now introduced a hamburger with Nutella in it, but unfortunately only in Italy. So if you're living in Italy, let me know how this is tasting. Looks super interesting, but I'm sure it's not worth to travel to Italy for it. But I'd anyways love to go there. Haven't been there in so many years, and I always wanted to go to Venice, and I'm sure Vanessa would love to join me. I started working again on the remix. It's now 11:30. I should be home already 3 hours ago. I'm pretty sure Vanessa will sleep by the time I'm back home. I hope she made and left me something to eat. I didn't have anything for this entire day except for the coffee this morning. Also tonight I get another chance to check out that supermoon. The supermoon yesterday was a big disappointment. Today it's not even possible to see it. It's very cloudy and raining a tiny bit. And of course it's super cold. I'm back in the studio. I completely forgot my headphones. I just hate it when I forget things. I have to be quiet. I think Vanessa's already in bed. I've also tried to get something to eat on my way back here at the gas station, but it seems like I forgot my wallet here at home, or it just got lost. I will try to find it, but probably tomorrow. Now just let's hope there's something to eat. But first, let me know if you're interested in a Jon Sine remix contest. I was thinking about giving you the stems to one of my tracks and let you do a remix. Let me know which track you'd be most interested, and I will check with the label and everyone else involved if this is possible. Good news, I found my wallet. Was of course in one of my old pants. Bad news, nothing to eat. Good news, there's still plenty of Nutella left.